Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another episode of Media Analysis, a very special one where I cover your favorite goth/alternative characters in media. This is going to be a multi-part series all about probably one of the most iconic characters in media, Wednesday Addams. Now, for this first part in this series, I will only be covering the live-action movies and shows before the Wednesday series. There will be no mention of Wednesday, the Netflix show, or any spoilers for it, so don't worry. In my second part, though, I will be talking all about Wednesday, but that'll probably be a week after Part 2 of Season 2 comes out. I also won't be covering any cartoon versions of Wednesday, but if you really want me to cover them, I can in a Part 3. Only you get to decide if I talk about Bowling Pin Wednesday. But without further ado, grab a snack and a drink, and let's go back to where it all started, 1964. The first live-action rendition of The Addams Family was conveniently titled The Addams Family, which ran for 2 seasons from 1964 to 1966 for a total of 64 episodes, and it's all in black and white. My favorite tidbit about the show is that most of the house and the clothes are shades of red and pink because it showed up as richer, deeper blacks on camera. So very anti-Addams. While I'll only really be talking about Wednesday, I thought it would be a good opportunity to give you a full rundown of the whole family so you know exactly who I'm talking about if I mention them. First off, we have the lovely Gomez and Morticia Addams, aka Wednesday's parents, Pugsley, who is Wednesday's older brother, Grandmama, Gomez's mother, and Wednesday's grandmother, Uncle Fester, who in this rendition specifically is Morticia's uncle, but in all of the other renditions is Gomez's brother, and of course Wednesday and Pugsley's uncle. Whose uncle he is won't really be that relevant, but I thought it was interesting. Then we have Thing, a disembodied hand, Lurch, the butler. I say butler, but he's really everything. Butler, chauffeur, maid. And finally, an honorable mention goes to Cousin It. I love him. He is my favorite character. Give this ball of hair more screen time, please. Now onto the 1964 version. Wednesday is not in this show very much. On IMDb, it says the actress Lisa Loring is in every episode. It's very far from the truth. I think it only says this because she is in both the intro and outro of every single episode, but just because she's not in this show that much doesn't mean she doesn't have some great episodes. In fact, she is the first Addams that we ever meet in the very first episode. This episode does an amazing job of setting up the overall vibe of the family and getting a close look at this gorgeous mansion near a cemetery. In this episode, the head of the school board comes over to tell the parents that they need to put Wednesday and Pugsley into school. I really don't know why this show took their homeschooled approach, because in every other iteration they have no problem going to school. But I think they really wanted to drive home that this is a very different family. In this, Wednesday is a very straightforward and honest little girl. She's about 6 years old and her brother is 8. We actually see a very vulnerable side of Wednesday in this first episode when she comes back home from her first day of school. She was learning about traditional fairy tales where they slay dragons and kill witches. This actually really upsets Wednesday because she and her family don't understand why you'd hurt such lovely and harmless creatures. This storyline actually continues throughout the show, with an episode dedicated to Morticia rewriting the fairy tales to meet their beliefs. They do get published, but are heavily edited, making Wednesday think that her mom actually believes these baseless lies in these stories. There's no real overarching plot to this show, but side characters and topics do show up multiple times. What we mostly learn about Wednesday throughout the show is that she is a confident and outspoken young lady who really likes spiders, decapitated dolls like Maria Antoinette, and dancing. She dances at least twice in the show, including the pretty famous scene of her just breaking it down, which, funny enough, is the second to last episode in the entire series. Her dance moves are called the Droop, just in case anyone was curious. She also loves playing with dynamite caps with her Uncle Fester and brother. The family does own a lot of weapons, but we don't see her playing with them much like we do in later renditions. Probably because she's pretty young. Another Wednesday-centric episode involves her having a crush. We see in an early episode that she actually has a boyfriend who happens to be the Invisible Man's kid. So of course we don't see him, he's invisible. It's a very quick ending scene that goes literally nowhere, but I loved it. In a later episode, there's an entire one dedicated to Wednesday having a crush on a boy. She's changing her signature braided ponytail hairstyle and just generally acting differently. Her parents think it's a great idea to invite the boy's family over for a playdate. We do see a bit of the perspective from the boy, and he thinks the family is absolutely kooky. His words, not mine. The only reason the parents agreed to the playdate in the first place is because the mom thinks that the Addams are related to Abigail Quincy Addams, who in this is a very known social figure, making the mom think that she can climb up the social ladder if she's friends with them. Before the other family comes over, each member of the family gives Wednesday a life lesson and a weapon, just in case. Morticia helps her get dressed. Gomez teaches her how to dance, and Grandmama helps her with her hair. Turns out they're not related to Abigail Quincy Addams. It's 2 D's in Addams, like padded room, not one. They go over and this kid really doesn't want to hang out with her, but is convinced to go play trains. The parents talk amongst themselves, the boy's parents obviously trying to charm them. It doesn't go too well though, with the whole family leaving incredibly mad, and Wednesday already forgetting all about the boy because he didn't want to play with the pet octopus. That was short-lived. I do feel like Pugsley got a lot more dedicated episodes, but overall I still very much enjoyed this show. It's funny and lighthearted and really feels timeless. The production quality is fantastic, and you almost don't realize it's from the 60s until you hear some choice sound effects. There was a Halloween special in 1977 where we see Adult Wednesday, but I, for the life of me, cannot find it anywhere. It's not listed with the series, so if you know where it is, let me know, because I would love to watch it. But you can watch the entire original Addams Family show on YouTube and Tubi for free, which I didn't realize was such a luxury, because you'll find out here soon that not all of the Addams Family is easy to find. Moving along, we have possibly my favorite set of movies, The Addams Family from 1981 and Addams Family Values from 1993. This is where the amazing Christina Ricci plays Wednesday, and these are the movies I grew up on, so this holds a lot of nostalgia for me. The first movie sets the scene a lot differently than the show. The movie is a lot more dramatic and serious with comedic relief sprinkled in, whereas the 1964 show was a lot more just comedy. It starts off with Gomez having a hard time because Uncle Fester has been missing for 25 years. What? Which sounds crazy because that means he doesn't know Wednesday or Pugsley at all. He doesn't know that they exist. Pugsley and Wednesday are roughly 12 and 11 respectively. We meet the Addams Family lawyer named Tully, who goes to their house to collect their payment. He finds out that they have a lot of money stored away in the house, and he wants it because he's in trouble with some loan sharks. Tully goes back to his office, and one of the loan sharks is waiting for him with her son. But wait, her son looks a lot like Uncle Fester, with hair. Tully and the loan shark lady, whose name is Greta, devise a plan to have her son pretend to be the long-lost Uncle Fester, so that they can steal all of their money. Greta pretends to be a doctor, giving the family a story of how she found Uncle Fester and took him in. Wednesday is immediately skeptical, and her skepticism isn't eased when Fester mentions he was at the Bermuda Triangle. She says it's her favorite place ever and starts to ask him questions about the Bermuda Triangle, and he just dodges them. While all of this is going on, in the background, we get to see more of the dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. They're basically just torturing each other pretty consistently, with Wednesday trying to do a lot more of the torturing. My favorite scene in this movie is when Wednesday goes into the kitchen with a weapon. Morticia asks her if it's for her brother, which she replies yes. So she says that simply won't do, and hands her another more potentially deadly weapon. Gotta keep their hobbies alive, you know? With Wednesday keeping a close eye on Fester, Fester tries to befriend the kids, showing them the joys of dynamite caps and helping them out with their school play. The play scene was, I think, the best scene in the entire movie. Wednesday and Pugsley are reenacting a fight and death scene. They both slash at each other, quote unquote dying, and spraying fake blood all over the entire crowd of parents. It's very over the top and dramatic, but hilarious. And of course, they're given a standing ovation by their family. Because Fester goes to the play, his mother is mad at him because he was supposed to stay back and rob the place while everyone was gone. Wednesday overhears this conversation and bursts into the room saying she knew he wasn't the real Fester. He tries to catch her, but she runs away to the cemetery. Enough time passes to where the parents are worried that they haven't seen Wednesday, so they split up to find her. Gomez pretty quickly finds her sleeping on a bench inside a mausoleum. When they return to their house, their gate is closed up and they're unable to enter. Fester has seized complete ownership of the house and kicks them out, where they are forced to stay in a motel. They all get odd jobs, with Wednesday and Pugsley running a lemonade stand, possibly some poison mixed in, you know. A Girl Scout comes up and asks,
"Are you sure they're real lemons?"
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll buy a cup if you buy a box of my delicious Girl Scout cookies. Do we have a deal?
Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
That night, while everyone is sleeping, Morticia goes back to the house to try to convince Fester to let them back in, but Fester's mom and the lawyer are there, and they tie her up and hold her hostage. Gomez comes to her rescue thanks to Thing watching everything go down. While Gomez saves Morticia, Fester decides to betray Greta. He opens up a book about hurricanes, causing a hurricane to manifest itself into the house. This makes Greta and Tully fly out of the house and into open graves built by Wednesday, Pugsley, and Thing. We get a 7-month time skip with everything being back to normal. Turns out Fester was the real Fester and just had amnesia. The kids are playing with Fester outside the cemetery while the parents watch from the doorway, ending with Morticia announcing to Gomez that they're expecting another child. Ugh, What a good movie. Looking back, I don't think I ever actually watched this movie. If I did, it was only once, because I remembered the entire plot of the second movie before I even watched it, but this one I could not remember. On to the second movie, The Addams Family Values. This picks up 9 months later, with Morticia getting straight into delivering that baby. Right out of the gate, we get an amazing line from Wednesday. Another girl is in the waiting room with them, waiting for her mom to give birth to a baby. She explains all about how the stork is going to bring the baby because her mommy and daddy love each other very much. With Wednesday simply replying,
Our parents are having a baby, too. They had sex.
The baby is home and his name is Pubert. He basically looks like Baby Gomez. Wednesday and Pugsley are jealous of the new baby. They try to play with him while also trying to kill him. The baby does have some supernatural abilities, like superhuman strength and fire abilities. They decide to hire a nanny so that Morticia can have more free time and so someone can keep an eye on Wednesday and Pugsley. Don't want them kids trying anything, okay? They hire Debbie, who is played by the same actress that plays Sheila in Shameless, so that is all I could see. Debbie ends up fitting right in though, which is rare to say the least. We find out from a TV broadcast that Debbie is secretly a serial killer called the Black Widow. She marries rich men, kills them, and flees with their money right after the funeral. And this time, she has her sights set on Fester. Wednesday is yet again very suspicious of Debbie from the start. Man, this girl has great intuition and judge of character. Debbie manages to convince Gomez and Morticia that the kids want to go to summer camp. Camp Chippewa. Gotta get everyone out of her way somehow. The parents reluctantly agree, and Wednesday and Pugsley figure out pretty quickly that they're not going to be fitting in. We meet Amanda, a stuck-up rich kid, who dislikes Wednesday and is stuck in the same cabin as her. When meeting Amanda's family, we get one of the most well-known lines ever.
Oh, Wednesday's at that very special age when a girl has only one thing on her mind. Boys.
Homicide.
I love this movie so much. We also meet a boy named Joel, who Wednesday quickly takes interest in. He's nerdy with glasses and has a boatload of allergies. Meanwhile, Debbie convinces Fester to marry her. They share the news with everyone, and Wednesday thinks this is the perfect time to escape camp. Her, Pugsley, and Joel are caught trying to jump the fence. For some reason, the camp starts singing Kumbaya, thinking this will surely get them to stay. And Wednesday is absolutely horrified. While they do not escape, they do get a pass to leave for the wedding. Wednesday is the flower girl, Pugsley is the ring bearer, and Joel is there. And let me tell you about this wedding. Oh my god. Talk about the gothic wedding of my dreams, okay? It's in the Addams cemetery, because of course. And everyone besides Debbie is wearing black. Ugh. Sign me up. Debbie and Fester go on their honeymoon, where she, of course, tries to kill him. She throws a radio into the bathtub, but this man is literally a walking electrical box, so of course it doesn't work. As a last resort, Debbie gives him an ultimatum. She won't have sex with him unless he vows to never see his family again. This unfortunately works, with every member of the family getting a letter, while Debbie and Fester move into their giant pink mansion. Back at summer camp, Wednesday finds out that Debbie is in fact the Black Widow serial killer, thanks to Joel and his serial killer trading cards. The camp is also casting for a play called A Turkey Named Brotherhood. About the first Thanksgiving. What could go wrong? All of the blonde, quote-unquote good white children get to be the pilgrims, whereas all of the outcast, non-white, quote-unquote bad kids get to be the Native Americans. Oh boy. And Wednesday gets cast as Pocahontas. The three kids want nothing to do with this play, so they get stuck in the Harmony Hut, where they're forced to watch Disney movies until dark. When they're let out, they pretend to be reformed. Wednesday is excited to play Pocahontas, and even smiles to really sell it. This scares everyone, causing everyone to take a step back. Cutting to the play, all of the parents are there in attendance, and the play starts off pretty normal. Wednesday then diverts from the script, making everyone worried about what she'll say next. She looks directly into the camera and talks at length about the racial disparity that Native Americans will face in the future.
You have taken the land which is rightfully ours. Years from now, my people will be forced to live in mobile homes, on reservations. Your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs. We will sell our bracelets by the roadsides. You will play golf and enjoy hot hors d'oeuvres. My people will have pain and degradation. Your people will have stick shifts. The gods of my tribe have spoken. They have said, do not trust the pilgrims.
It's quite a really powerful scene. Her speech starts a riot by the kids cast as the Native Americans, and they literally start burning the camp to the ground. They also tie up Amanda, the bully, to a pole and douse it in gasoline. The Addams theme song plays as Wednesday lights a match, ready to throw it on Amanda with a smirk on her face. Wednesday and Pugsley use this as an opportunity to flee the summer camp one last time, but not before Joel comes to say goodbye. They share heartfelt sentiments and some French words, ooh la la, before kissing through a chain link fence. Young love. Debbie is also still trying to kill Fester, surprise surprise. She plants a bomb in the house, leaving so it looks like she had nothing to do with it. She comes back and sits in her car right before the house completely explodes. She gets out to survey the damage, and Fester walks out of the house mostly unscathed. This causes Debbie to pull a gun on him and completely lose the facade she had going on, confessing that she wants him dead and to take all of his money. While she's saying all this, Thing is driving her car and coming up right behind her and runs her over. Sweet, sweet justice. Thing and Fester make a break for it and drive back to the Addams house. Wednesday and Pugsley show up shortly after, but unfortunately it's a short family reunion because Debbie busts through the door with a shotgun. It cuts to Debbie having everyone tied to electric chairs, and before she pulls the lever to kill them, she decides to monologue her life story. Because what's a good villain without a monologue? We find out that she killed both of her parents at age 10 because they got her the wrong Barbie. She also killed her last two husbands, which gave her the Black Widow nickname. While she's monologuing, it's Pubert to the rescue. Debbie either forgot about him or simply did not see him as a threat, but we all know he's just not any baby. He escapes near death several times just trying to get down the stairs to the rest of the family. He shows up just in time though, as Debbie is pulling the lever to fry everyone. Pubert rewires the connection, which causes Debbie to electrocute herself. She turns into a pile of ash on the floor with only her shoes left. The movie wraps up like the first movie with a time skip. This time we skip to Pubert's first birthday. Everyone is in attendance, including Joel, who is dressed like Gomez. Seriously, did I miss something? Why is he dressed like that? It's not explained. But they celebrate Pubert's birthday, and Wednesday and Joel go out to the cemetery to talk. They're sitting on a bench in front of Debbie's grave. Joel asks her questions like, do you see yourself getting married or having kids in the future? She doesn't want kids and said she would pity her husband. At this point, Joel has squatted down in front of Debbie's grave. Wednesday goes on to say that Debbie was an amateur, and if she really wanted to kill her husband, she'd just scare him. Joel doesn't believe her, but as he's talking, a mysterious hand comes out from the grave and grabs his wrist. He is screaming, and Wednesday is laughing hysterically, and that's how it ends. I think Christina Ricci's Wednesday really set the bar for the Wednesdays to follow. Oh, I love her. But on to our last Wednesday, we have Nicole Fugere. She is Wednesday in both Addams Family Reunion and The New Addams Family. Both of these renditions were so hard to find. I found the movie, but I could not find The New Addams Family anywhere. But thanks to Hats Off Entertainment's video titled The New Addams Family Forgotten Failures, I was able to learn more about these two pieces of media than I ever would have on my own. So be sure to check out their video. I will have it linked down in the description below. From that video, I learned that the Addams Family Reunion and The New Addams Family came out a month apart from each other, with the movie coming out in September of 1998 and the show remake coming out in October of 1998. In fact, the movie was supposed to be a pilot for the series. The movie was very poorly received, which is crazy to me because Tim Curry plays Gomez. Now, I watched this movie. In my personal opinion, I don't see how this movie is really any different from any of the other Addams Family movies. The only thing I personally didn't like was the Morticia actress, and I thought that the Uncle Fester actor was lacking somewhat. But here is the entire premise of the movie. The Addams want to connect to the rest of their family in an effort to save the great-grandparents from this curse that's plaguing them. It's basically turning them normal. They reach out to an agency that handles this and gets an invitation for an Addams Family reunion. Fantastic! And they end up at a lavish resort hotel with very average looking people. Turns out it's an Addams reunion. 1D, not 2. The family separates and gets acquainted with various members of their extended family. Wednesday and Pugsley have to hang out with the rest of the kids, but surprise, surprise, they're all just assholes. Pugsley does take a liking to a nerdy, lonely girl at the resort, and she ends up hanging out with them throughout the rest of the movie. Most of the time we see Wednesday in this movie, she is wreaking a little havoc, adding some sort of poison gas to the kids' croquet game, and hiding a bomb in a tennis ball. It explodes when Gomez's tennis opponent hits it with a tennis racket, causing it to explode in his face and for Gomez to win the game. Wednesday will do anything for her family. On the last night of the reunion, there's a giant dinner party. It basically ends with Gomez and Morticia getting arrested by CPS. because of all of the concerning things they said about their kids and their parenting style. Wednesday and Pugsley are taken in by one of the Addams with Wendy because she feels it's her duty. You have known these people for less than 48 hours. But thankfully this lasts all of one night when the matriarch of the family from the resort decides to bail them out because he just really likes them. Because they're not fake, they're not after his money. Gomez and Morticia essentially break the children out of the house and they drive back home. All is well in the world. There's obviously a lot more to this movie, but Wednesday just isn't in it that much. Like I mentioned, this movie did get pretty bad reviews when it came out. Apparently a lot of people loved Raul Julia's rendition of Gomez from the 90s movies that they couldn't picture anyone else in the role. Passed away in 1994, a year after the second movie came out. So the early 90s movies just held a special place in people's hearts. But the show came out after the failed movie and was actually really well received. I don't know if it was because it was produced on a smaller scale, so maybe it didn't have such Hollywood widespread exposure, but people love the Gomez actor and think the Morticia actress is crazy similar to the 1964 black and white version. The new Addams Family is basically just a complete revamp of the 1964 show. This show did a complete revamp of the entire cast, changing everyone except Wednesday. So Nicole got to reprise her role. The show is almost a one-to-one remake of the original show from 1964. Like, some of the episodes are literally word for word the same and reenacted the same. They even brought John Aston on to play Grandpapa in 2 episodes, and he was the original Gomez in the black and white show. While they kept the Wednesday actress, Wednesday herself is the only character that's quite different from her 1964 counterpart. She still has that same straightforward and honest approach, but a little bit older with that lovely dark and cynical charm we've come to love from the early 90s versions. It really does seem like a perfect mix between the 2 other actors. I really wish I could have watched this. It ran for 2 seasons from 1998 to 1999 with a total of 65 episodes, just beating the original 1964 version by 1 episode. So there you have it. We have Wednesday at 6, 12, 13, give or take, and 14, 15, maybe? In the next part, we get to see her in a more dramatic setting at 16. So stay tuned for part 2. I'm very excited to talk about it. Let me know down below who is your favorite Wednesday, and are you binging season 2 of Wednesday like I am? If you guys like this type of video, I have an entire playlist on my channel called Media Analysis, where I've covered all of the goth characters from the Total Drama franchise, the goth kids from South Park, and my personal favorite, Creepy from Growing Up Creepy. So if you want to check that out, I will have the playlist in the cards and link down below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Come back soon for part 2. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!